The Baltimore Ravens took care of business in spectacular fashion yesterday. They marched into Houston and said, no way, not on Christmas Day. You are not getting us. You're not even coming close, not within striking distance. And it was so good to see. Good evening, everyone.
What is that? Give me a second.
Well, while Hendo takes care of that, I want to say good evening to everyone, and I hope you all are doing fine. I am still excited. I'm still on cloud nine from yesterday's victory. So sweet. How sweet it is. Hope you guys are enjoying your day, and I hope you had a lovely holiday yesterday. Let's dive right into a recap of yesterday. Well, 11 days, 3 games, 3 victories, a brutal stretch for our Ravens, but we got it done. And we stayed relatively healthy. Prayers up for Justice Hill. Otherwise, I think we are in really good standing. Hendo, how are you
Yeah,
tonight?
not well. How are you?
Oh, I hope you feel better. I hope you get better, whatever it might be ailing you. Hope it
I
is
just got off
fleeting.
work. I got off work. Like from the time we started till after it was time to get off, I'm still working. All because Bradley decided he wanted to take the week off.
Oh, well, it's his birthday. Brodney's
No, not
birthday
yet.
is in, I know his birthday is the 28th.
Yeah.
So that's Saturday.
No,
So he just,
okay, you take off Friday. You take off Friday and you have Saturday off. Maybe Monday. You don't take the whole week off.
well, I will say that you are a very good friend and he is, I'm sure, more than appreciative. So there's that. Oh,
He laughed
but
at he laughed at me. He sent me a text this morning laughing at me. He's not a good friend.
okay, Rodney, you're not helping. I was trying to make a case right here for you being like an awesome friend, but you're laughing at him. I don't know. Anyway, I stay out of that. That's between the two of you. Want to say hello to everyone who's already joined us in the chat. Facts over feelings live. Hey there. Thanks for being here. Yes, he said he's still flying high over that Texas victory. Exactly. On national TV, I saw something pop on my Twitter today and it said, well, X, it said 27 million viewers tuned in yesterday. 27 million, over 27 million people were able to witness the Baltimore Ravens just go in there and stomp on those Texans. Yep, just pound the Texans. That's what we did. We pounded the rock on the Texans. We ran the ball. It worked. Imagine that. But, one thing I'll say, this is like deja vu. It is absolutely to me like it's very reminiscent for 2 reasons. Number one, it's reminiscent of how we had a commanding and dominant win over the Texans last year in the playoffs. But also, if you recall, and I'm sure all of you do, Christmas Day last year, how the Baltimore Ravens manhandled the San Francisco 49ers when everyone said, the Ravens are not going to win. So to me, this was deja vu all over again. Good to see our team out there doing their thing yesterday. Just Tora, thank you for being here. Low 217, good evening. Yeah, they showed up. They did. They showed out. Yes. MDT Sports, good evening. Thank you to you. Media got on your nerves today about Lamar Jackson. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Victory Thursday. It is that. Jeff J. Charm City, DDSQ, thank you for being here. Zeke, Hokage, good to see you. Good to see you. Just Tornado says, as a Houstonian, I proudly say, go Ravens. That's right.
You
We
have no
love it.
choice.
Well, she does have a choice. I mean,
Not really. I mean, the Texans, the Oilers, none of them were really good franchises. So, come
yeah,
to the
but
winning side.
and
Come to the winning
it was
side.
something to witness. It was something to witness the fans just like become the Texan fans completely deflated in that stadium. Like you just saw on Christmas Day, they were so sad.
I
What's
saw
up
empty
there?
seats.
Come on, Porter. Let's dive right into this recap because I'm not going to say we're not going to be here before you long because every time I say that, so I'll just say we're going to try our best to keep this a relatively short stream, but we are doing 31 days of content on our respective channels. And so make sure you are locked in because we only have a few more days left of this challenge. Wow, it's gone by fast. But Hendo, let's have a look at some of the stats from yesterday and kind of recap what your thoughts were. We'll start with offense. Let's take a look at Lamar Jackson, starting with him. This 31-2 lead, this win, excuse me, not lead, but this win, it all starts with Lamar. What were your thoughts about him with 10 out of 15, 10 completions out of 15 attempts for 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions? What were your thoughts about him yesterday?
Same as always. Like, he is the best player in the NFL right now. Like, it's clear. It's no denying it. And more importantly, it's how efficient he is. Everyone wants to talk about the numbers as far as his passing yards. He passed the ball 15 times. He didn't have to pass the ball. And then when he needed to run it, he ran it. He picked up first downs. He had that 48-yard touchdown. I mean, not to seal the game because the game was sealed when it started, but it's just his efficiency. I think that if I'm not mistaken, because like I said, I didn't have much time today to go over a lot of things, but I read something that said if Lamar in this game against Cleveland has a passer rating of like 143 or something like that, he's going to break the all-time record for passer rating in a season. So that just tells you how efficient he is. He doesn't need to throw the ball a ton. He doesn't need to go out here and Peyton Manning it and just 45, 50 attempts a game. He gets things done with what he does in limited fashion. So, what I'm saying? MB3.
For sure. He doesn't have to. And like you said, Hendo, he's able to get the job done in so many different ways. That's the wonderful thing about Lamar. And kudos to Todd Monken for really calling a pretty good, solid game for the most part. Couple of questionable play calls. I said, oh, what were we thinking there? But for the most part, this was a very, very smooth, easy, relaxing. I was going to say Sunday, but yesterday was not Sunday, Wednesday. But I know, because I'm just so used to doing a recap and, it's the weekend when we play, but it's okay. So it was a relaxing Wednesday for us for sure. Looking at Derrick Henry and his accomplishment, because prior to yesterday, 5 games he had gone without having a touchdown.
I thought it was 4.
I'm pretty sure it's 5. Leave it in the chat if somebody Googles really quickly how many games had it been that Derrick Henry had gone without having a touchdown prior to yesterday's game. Drop that number for me in the chat. But what were your thoughts there about Derrick Henry? And after that, we'll segue into Chaos's comment about the O-line.
I mean, he was dominant. Listen, what did we pass? 2 passes in the first quarter? Houston Texans with that dominating defense just couldn't seem to stop him. It's like every time he ran the ball, he got a first down. He got chunk yardage. So, this is the game plan that we need going forward, going into the playoffs. And Todd Monken, if you're listening, do that. And do that consistently. Because he's unstoppable. Listen, just with the threat of Lamar being back there, Derrick Henry is already one of the greatest running backs over the last 10 years, if not the best. Then the threat of Lamar holding it and pulling it and just running off like he did with that touchdown, teams don't know. And I think that with Lamar running a little bit more, that's going to make teams kind of pause for a second when they see that mesh point. They like, who's going to get the ball? And it's going to make us more effective. But Derrick Henry's a beast, like 1,700 yards, 14 touchdowns. I mean, what else do you want from this man?
Exactly. I mean, I 100% agree with you. And something that is incredibly impressive to me is how, because, there was talks early on and when we signed Derrick Henry, he's older, he's washed, he's not going to have how much more does he have left? And look at him now. Look at
Right.
him right now. He is neck and neck with Saquon Barkley. Just shy in terms of yards. He's neck and neck. I think after yesterday, or before yesterday's game, he was like 100 shy of where Saquon was. Yes,
Nah,
I'm
maybe 100 now.
no, it was
Saquon
100 before.
Barkley.
Yeah,
Okay.
now you
He
gotta
has
have me.
because I looked it up and it was 4 games that he didn't have a touchdown,
It was 5
and
games.
it was
Oh,
four. I just looked it up.
I'm just seeing what's in the chat. But okay.
I just looked it up.
Okay. Okay. Hendo said he just looked it up, but I'm assuming everybody else did too. But that's fine. Whether it's 4 or 5, the point is Derrick Henry had gone for a few games. I'll say that. A few games without having a touchdown. And it's good to see him return to form. And segueing into, I think it was Chaos who mentioned it earlier, segueing into that, the offensive line, going against a defense that I thought, by all accounts, a top 10 defense, maybe 10 or number 11, somewhere right around there, overall defense, we were able to come in and just sit them down, sit that defense down offensively. What does that say to you about our team?
I think it more has to do with our running back, our quarterback, and the play calling. I mean, I don't think it had a lot to do with the offensive line sitting the defense down because they got a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. And if you saw one of Lamar Jackson's touchdowns, he had to scramble for like 10 seconds. So,
Yeah. I was going to talk about that too. Lamar Jackson's ability to extend the play, keep the drive alive. He scrambled for I think it was 8.5 seconds on that touchdown to Isaiah Likely. And it was just incredible. And I think I mentioned yesterday in the live stream, name one quarterback right now in the NFL who could do that. And I think the only person that was named was Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. That's it. Someone put it in the chat. Pat Mahomes could probably do it. Thank you all for looking it up to confirm it was 4 games. I appreciate it. And Hendo also for looking it up and confirming that it was 4. Thank you. But when we look at Derrick Henry and our offensive line,
okay,
that has always been kind of, I don't want to say a concern, but let's be real and call it what it is. It has been a concern because we know Derrick Henry can go. He can. But who's going to block for him? Who's going to open up the lanes for him? Who's going to create the space for him to run? And just yesterday, I thought, well, I did not think that Derrick Henry would have such an impactful game. I thought he'd be, effective for sure. But going against better defenses, we've struggled. So this gives me hope. What do you say?
I mean, I have hope. As long as we have Lamar Jackson, I have hope. The things that he does on the field, like I said, he opens up a lot of things and makes his offensive line look a lot better. Derrick Henry makes his offensive line look a lot better. And there are times when they do well, they perform well. It was a couple of blocks that Lele had. He was solid on. It was a couple of times. I think it was a backside block. Makari had. Like they have their moments, but I just think it has more to do with the play call and Lamar, Derrick, and what they can do. I know there may be a Buffalo fan that might come in here and say Josh Allen can do what Lamar did. But let's not forget, Josh Allen went 9 for 30 versus these same Houston Texans.
He sure did. Passing for 131 yards against these Houston Texans with a passer rating of 56.4.
And
30% completion rate. Yeah, just...
What's up, David? Drake
David.
could not do that. Drake
yeah,
could barely
I had to laugh. He said he was just being a homer. He knows. He knows. But for sure, one thing it was exciting to see, one player on offense that I was very, very happy to see, Keaton Mitchell. And he didn't come out with a lot of carries. He had 11 for 20 yards. But it's just good to see him back at the running back position. What did you think?
I think it was good. I just don't think they utilized him correctly. You know he's coming off an injury. You know he's not in football shape, and you constantly run him up the middle.
Ooh.
He's not a big guy.
Yeah.
Stop it. But I guess they're just trying to toughen him up for the playoffs.
I hope that's right. I hope that's the reason because yeah, we were in the stream and I think it was Killer Cam was like, stop running him up the middle. He's no Derrick Henry. And I said, I absolutely agree with you. But,
Kennedy.
you know, but I think it was just, to me, it was very refreshing to see him back. It's good to see. And he has that same burst of speed. Doesn't seem like he lost it. Excuse me. So I'm pleased. I'm happy. Hello there, Danity. I see you joining in the chat. Yes, thank you, thank you. David Hunt is here. Press start for 10. Dre Too Tough, Black Ice. All of you, thank you. Thank you for joining. Share your thoughts as we go through tonight's recap. Let us know what your thoughts were offensively. Let's talk a little bit about our wide receivers. Our pass catchers, I'll say it so that it includes our tight ends. Our wide receivers, our tight ends, what did you think?
I mean, they were okay. They weren't really needed.
No.
Mark Andrews, I thought he should have had the touchdown, but he just ran out of gas at the end. I mean, they did well. Isaiah Likely, I liked how when Lamar Jackson was scrambling, he made himself available for the touchdown. I knew it was going to him because it was like they're not paying attention to him, they're paying attention to Lamar. And I think Zay did his thing. Bateman, and but they weren't needed. They ran the ball, so it's not much I can really say about them because they did their job when they needed to come up big. They came up big.
Yeah, we do have a super chat. I'm going to come right back to that. Thank you so much from Press Start 410. Thank you. Thank you. Greatest content, Yolanda and Hendo. Thank you. Happy holidays and happy holidays to you. We appreciate the support. Thank you for the donation. And if you would like to also leave a donation or a super sticker, please know that there is a super chat button down below in both of our channels, and you can click on that. It just is a way that you can support the work that we're doing here, and it helps us to create more Baltimore Ravens content for you. Again, thank you for the $2 donation. That is greatly appreciated. Going back to the pass catchers, yeah, they weren't really needed, but one player I thought was needed was definitely Isaiah Likely. Not that we needed him in terms of like we weren't able to get the job done on the ground. No, I needed Isaiah Likely to be involved, have a touchdown, be involved, be a part of this offense again, because he had gone kind of stale for a while. So this is good for him, I think, building up his confidence, his reassuring himself like, hey, we're heading into the last game, into the playoffs. I'm still a big part of this offense. So that's what I like to see. All right, we got yet another super chat, this time from our guy, $20. I see you, Claude, coming in with the super chat, showing some love. You and Hendo bust that down the middle. Oh yeah, Claude is in the building. Thank you, Claude. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, it was good to see Isaiah Likely get involved, have a touchdown. And you're right, Hendo. It would have been nice for Mark Andrews to go in there and get into the end zone, but he set us up for the touchdown, so that was pretty good. Any players on offense that kind of made you just say, oh no, yikes, big yikes?
Rosengarten.
Okay.
Yeah, he struggled. He did so well against TJ Watt last week. And when we played him the first time, he could not handle Will Anderson. That boy just, whew.
Yeah.
But like I said, off season, he gets stronger. This is his first season. He's getting acclimated to the NFL. He's done well. He's probably been our best offensive lineman since he's been inserted in the lineup. We don't hear too much about him because he's doing his job. So but
I'm gonna go with Ben Cleveland. And the reason is we had that one sighting of Ben Cleveland at guard. Here you have an opportunity, right? You have an opportunity before you to show why you deserve to be the starting guard, why you are better than Daniel Falele. And what did you do? Hendo's favorite word, he whiffs. And I remember in the stream yesterday, I said, "Oh gosh, come on, Cleveland, you can't do that in your moment of your time to shine. You have to do better." And so for me, it was been Cleveland, because now moving forward, John Harbaugh can feel somewhat validated to say, "I knew what I was talking about. I knew you guys thought I was, like joking, or you didn't believe me. I knew Daniel Falele was better than Ben Cleveland." So he would be the one that I said, But yeah, Michael Robinson, thank you. Makari was the next on my list. Makari struggled. He did. With one-on-one blocks. He did. So those two would be, I asked for one, but Robert says that Daniel Falele blocked well. He did. Pretty good. He did. So, and yes, your guy, Chris Board, came with the sack. We're going to talk about the defense in just a bit. Just a bit. To start the second half, I guess we can start with the defense. All right, let's go. Kyle Hamilton gets his first pick of the season. So excited about it. What did you think? How did you think we came out to start that second half?
Same way we started the first half. They had no chance against us. They didn't score. Offensively, they didn't score a point. If it hadn't been for the safety, they'd have put up a goose egg. Like, they couldn't run, they couldn't pass. CJ Stroud was very flustered. Like, he couldn't get anything going. Listen, this is the first time, I think, all season that offensively and defensively we put it all together. Special teams, it was better, but we need to do something about that returner. We need to find a returner that's explosive and can kind of get some yardage. But other than that, I think all three phases played well. Like, we totally dominated this team. Like I told you, it was no worries coming in here. Like, they're not a good team.
They're not. They're not. And to me, and we do have another super chat coming in. I'm going to give a shout out really quickly. But to me, the team of the Texans, they're not a very good team. They're not. They're certainly not. But they have a very good defense. What happened to them yesterday? I don't know. Will Anderson was asked about it in the locker room, and he said he just doesn't know either. But we do have yet another donation, another $2 donation coming in from our guy over at Press Start 410. Thank you very much. He said, let's get those super chats up. They are doing this. They do this for us. Absolutely. It is our pleasure to come on here day after day and bring you live stream and content about these Baltimore Ravens. Smile, Hendo, because you got to endorse what I'm saying, right? Okay. There you go. We do have another super chat coming in. This time, this is from Daniel Hall. Thank you very much for the super chat donation. Daniel, if you have anything that you want us to say, you just know what to do. Leave a comment and we'll be sure to get right to you, and you will be moved up to the front of the line. Thank you very much for the donation. Thanks for the support. I see Tanja has joined us. Good evening, Tanja. Hello. Hello, hello. Yeah. Going back to the defense, as we came out, it's one of the things I asked for during the halftime, I said, let me know, what is it that you want to see from our team going into the second half? And I said, from the defense, I want to see turnovers. Can somebody step up and get one? And sure enough, Kyle Hamilton comes right out the gate. Second half, his first interception of the season. Very good for him, because this is a player, Hendo, that you've said hasn't been as explosive, maybe is the word, or hasn't been as productive, perhaps, as he was last year. So it was good to see that from him. And we hope to see more of that moving forward. All right, let's start with the D-line and the defensive line's domination yesterday. What were your thoughts, Endo?
I mean, listen, I thought that the only chance the Texans had to be in the game, not win, but be in the game, was actually running Joe Mixon, kind of flaring out some passes to him, but they shut that down. Listen, Travis Jones was up in there. Broderick Washington did his thing. Namde Matabike went and got a sack. Like, it was like, what can we say? It was total dominance by this team. And this is what we expect from the Baltimore Ravens week in and week out. Now, we don't expect teams to win. We don't expect the Ravens to win 31-2 every game, but we expect to be dominant on the ground and play great defense. That's the formula to winning the Super Bowl. If we can continue to do this, we legitimately have a shot of winning the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh can't stop us like this. Buffalo darn sure can't stop us like this. And Kansas City's looking kind of weakish, but it's not the playoffs just yet. So I still think that if we run the ball, control the clock, stop the run, and we stop Isaiah Pacheco, Hollywood Brown's my guy. He doesn't scare me. DeAndre Hopkins used to be the man, doesn't scare me. Xavier Worthy kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
A little
I
bit.
was going to
But
say, well, you got to stop it before you get to Xavier Worthy because he does give me a little concern. But to your point, for sure. For sure. We do have a question coming in from Press Start 410. Do y'all think we should try Keaton Mitchell or Ali at punt returner? What do you think, Kendo?
Neither. For one, Keaton Mitchell's just coming back. You don't want him to get a soft tissue injury. Rasheen Ali, he gets hurt coming off the bench. Why would I put him at punt return? Because he'll get hurt the third return and he'll be no good to the team. So no. Neither.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Kendo. Keaton Mitchell, no. We need to safeguard him, and as much as possible, as to the extent we're able. And that also means, like Hendo said earlier, let's not run him up the middle. He's just not built for that. And I forget about Rasheen Ali. I'm sorry. I forget he's on the team 90% of the time. I do. So I'm going to say no to both of those for that reason. Yes, all of them, just about every member of that D-line got a sack yesterday, including my guy, Odafe Owe, who is at number 9 for sacks this season. He just needs to get one more he just needs one against the Browns when we play them in a little over a week, and he will be at double digits for the season. Very impressive for this defensive front. Is that surprising to you? Going against CJ Stroud and this offense that's just gone through the ringer this year in terms of injuries and a sophomore slump, so to speak, for CJ.
Does the slump surprise me?
No. Does it surprise you that our D linemen were able to be so productive yesterday against the Texans?
No. Their offensive line sucks. Their offensive line is worse than ours. Their starting guard was out. Tunsil has not been the all-pro Pro Bowl player that he has been in the past. It's like he got 2 contracts that made him the highest paid offensive lineman, and he decided to call it quits. He's just like, I'm just going out there for the game. So it doesn't surprise me at all. That offensive line is horrible. The only bad thing about this is now we don't face them in the first round, but I'm good with that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. Oh, wait, only 1 sack away from double digits. Pay my guy. That's it. Yes.
They did pay him.
They did. Slicer 59, thanks for being here. Our D-line played disciplined defense. That can be said about our entire team. And let me know in the chat, was yesterday for you one of the first games that we played complimentary football for 4 quarters? Was it that for you yesterday? Because that's how I felt. Yes, we've had commanding wins against like the Bills and et cetera, but it just seemed that yesterday we were very disciplined. We limited the penalties. What did we have? 3 penalties maybe? Something like that. I wrote it down somewhere. I don't know if I have my little sticky, but we limited our penalties. I want to say 30 something yards in terms of, that resulted from our penalties in comparison to what we've been doing in weeks, prior. So to me, Slicer, the whole team just looked disciplined yesterday. But yes, to your point specifically, that D-line, they got out there and took care of business. Now, what are your thoughts about protecting the middle of the field, Hendo?
Still can't do it. It's still a problem. I don't care who they put out there. We just can't protect the middle of the field. It's just, I think covering tight ends in the middle of the field is Zach Wills' Achilles heel. Like, that's something he has to look into going to the playoffs, because in the playoffs, they're going to attack that specific weakness if we don't get that together. We're not going to have a game where once we make the playoffs where we're going to play against one solid receiver and pretty much that's it. Some of these teams are coming in here with guys that can get it and have speed. So I think that's one of the things that we need to shore up. But outside of that, we have the boundaries covered. I mean, even Brandon Stevens doesn't give up huge chunk plays.
Right.
It's just that middle of the field that kills us every time.
What? Okay. And I guess my question is, with our talent that we have, and I do see Go Man has a question. I'm coming right back to you, Go Man. With the talent that we have, okay, we're not getting new players. Let's just work with what we have. With the pieces that we have in terms of our linebackers, what is the formula for us to be better at being able to protect the middle of the field? What do you think it is? Let us know in the chat. Is it that we mix players, put them in different positions? Like, what is it that we can do that might give us an opportunity to be better at guarding that middle of the field?
Scheme. It has to be scheme. We've tried all our linebackers in coverage.
None of them look good.
None of them can cover the middle.
None
None
of
of
them. I thought it was going to be Trenton Simpson.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
He's
we
probably the
have
best.
we have to play Kyle back.
Hmm.
So we don't use Kyle at the line of scrimmage
Right.
to kind of have him drop back in coverage. So that hurts a little bit. And the rest of these guys they
They
just can't
can't
do
do
it.
it. They can't do it. So that's what I'm saying. So let us know in the chat. What would you like to see from this Ravens defense in order to really kind of shore up that weakness? Because clearly it is still a weakness. Go Man wants to know, can Lamar have a better playoff run than Flacco? What do you think?
He can. Most definitely. Because the one element that Lamar brings that Joe Flacco never had was his running ability. The numbers that Joe Flacco put up, I think he averaged like 287 yards passing, maybe 2.5 touchdowns a game. Lamar can do that, but he can also add 80 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns running a game. So I think he can have that type of impact. I don't think that he will, though, because I think that once this version of Lamar gets to the playoffs, and if we can keep things going the way that it is, they're going to take him out in the fourth quarter. Like, we're going to have such large leads in the playoffs. He's not going to have to play a full game. We're not going to have a mile high miracle because Lamar's going to be that dominant. He's not playing all 4 quarters. Just like I said against Houston. I mean, I know it's Houston, but I told y'all he was coming out.
Yeah. And I agree. We played equally as good against Buffalo earlier this year. Absolutely. We do have another question coming in from Just Toronado. After yesterday's game, is this Ravens squad showing the hunger of a team chasing a ring, or was the Texans' lack of performance making it appear so? That's a very loaded question, but a very good one. I'll start. I think the Ravens are starting to round into form at the right time. It's taken us 17 weeks to get here. We've made a lot of mistakes. We've had a lot of bumps and bruises, ups, downs. We've had a lot of good. We've had a lot of not so good. But right now, I think we are fine-tuning what works for the Ravens, given our coaching, given our talent that we put out there on the field. We're starting to see them put it all together. And to me, that's the recipe for winning. You have to be able to be balanced on both sides of the ball. And your special teams also needs to show up. So that's what we're seeing. At least that's what I'm seeing right now for the Ravens. Now, does it help that the Texans were woefully miserable yesterday? Sure, of course. But I still think even if they had a slightly better game, the score would not have been close with how good the Ravens played yesterday. What do you think, Hendo?
I think that Lamar's hungry, and I think that reverberates through the rest of the team. I know that Derrick Henry's hungry. Derrick Henry has been the guy on the Titans for so long and had to carry so much of the load. Now he gets to share that with Lamar. And Lamar wants more than anything to bring a championship to Baltimore. And I think that the rest of his teammates are starting to follow that. The defense is starting to pick up. I think even John Harbaugh is starting to come on board. Like, let me take a step back and kind of chill out a little bit and let the guys handle it, because we're at the point of the season. They know what they're doing. They know the play calls. They know how to prepare for these games. I think we're just at that point right now that they're looking and taking Lamar's lead, and this is why we're going to follow him to a championship.
Absolutely. Nightmare Kilo said, good evening to you. Don't give me hope about Brandon Stevens, Hendo. Don't do that. John Parsons says, I saw somewhere that in the last 4 games, our defense is in the top 5 in sacks and pressures when only rushing 4. Huh. I can't say that surprises me all that much. I just didn't know it, but we've been looking really good. We've been looking very, very good. And yesterday certainly boosted that stat for sure. So indeed, pass rush needs to be relentless. There was something else that I wanted to say. This is from Team Ramey. Hey there, good evening. Thanks for joining. KC scares me in the middle of the field. It does, for obvious reasons. You don't want Travis Kelce to get hot and just like burn up the middle of the field. And what's our answer for that? I mean,
it's not funny, but
it's not funny, but I mean, it's something that we need to like seriously think about.
We've seen it the first game of the season. What did they do the first game of the season? They kept running the same play over and over, and we couldn't stop it. But hopefully we've learned from our mistakes.
Yeah.
And Marcus Williams is gone.
That too. We'll get into the secondary, we'll get into that. So I'm seeing, thank you for being here, Ravens third ring. Kyle Hamilton has to cover Kelce. Yeah, he has to. What other player do we have to cover him that would be anywhere close to remote success that we have right now on this team? Is it Roquan Smith? Is it Trenton Simpson? Is it Tavius Robinson? So exactly, it has to be. You're absolutely right, Ravens third ring. It has to be Kyle. So Robert says Chris Board freeing up Roquan. Robert, you have been a Chris Board fan, and I appreciate it because a couple of games ago you said, I think Chris Board's going to have a great game. He's going to do very well. And I was like, is he? Okay. And he has. He really has. He was out there flying around yesterday. Good to see it. So yeah, Chris Board freeing up Roquan Smith. That might be the answer. That might be it. That's it. Hey there, Big Reg, host of Big Boy Talk. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Jeff J wants to know, are we missing Geno Stone? I'll let Hendo start. I have my thoughts about that.
I don't want to say yes.
I know you don't want to.
No, we're not. I mean, we're missing his turnovers. We're not missing him. We're missing his turnovers. And I think that, in essence, I guess I have to say yes. We're missing Geno Stone because he was that third safety that allowed Kyle Hamilton to come up in the box. Yes. So yes, we are missing him because we took a couple swings and missed on some safeties that we thought could come in and replace him. And he's been doing okay over there in Cincinnati. He just had a pick 6 last week. So yeah, I would say kind of, sort of, just only because his presence freed up Kyle.
Exactly. I'm going to say emphatically yes, we're missing Geno Stone for those reasons. Freeing up Kyle to place closer to the line of scrimmage, which we're not really able to do right now. We're more limited without a Geno Stone because we could rely on Geno Stone to get those turnovers, but we haven't seen that. The only player in that secondary who's really been consistent in turnovers is Marlon Humphrey.
Yep.
Outside of him, it's been hit or miss, very sporadic. Yesterday was Kyle Hamilton's first interception of the season. When you have a Geno Stone, you automatically feel more comfortable knowing that your team is going to be able to get a turnover or two. Now it's like, okay, if Marlon Humphrey doesn't get one, I don't know who will. So absolutely. Great question. Thanks for asking that. Look at our guy, Lead Commander. Well, thank you for being here. He says, I know you Ravens are still flying high over your impressive win as well. You should. Thank you for joining. Yes, we are still really excited, just kind of recapping this game. Last thing I wanted to talk about, not the last thing. What about the secondary, Hendo? Are you seeing promise in our secondary? Are you seeing improvement? What did you see yesterday?
I mean, we've seen growth and improvement, especially over the last 5 weeks. If we include this game, we started the season out. We were the 32nd ranked defense in the pass defense in the league, and everybody and their mama was just throwing for 300 yards all over the field against us. Over the last 4 weeks, coming into this last game, we were the number one net defense in the league. We were the number one third down defense in the league, and I think that this game is just more of the same. So there has been a lot of improvement on this defense, especially since our Darius Washington has been inserted in the starting lineup. He brings a physicality, even though he is even though he is the smallest Raven
Yeah.
possibly on the team. I know he is on defense, but he brings a physicality and he brings a mindset. And I think that carries weight with this team, and they're following his lead now, and they're looking at his confidence because it's payday for him too. It's for time for him to get a contract, so he's balling out. And Brandon Stevens, I know y'all said he was a 4 or a 2 or whatever. He's trying. I'm not a Brandon Stevens fan, but I respect him for the fact that he came in here, played safety, cornerback, and he's trying. He balled out last year. Maybe Mike McDonald unlocked him. I don't know. He's been struggling a bit, but he doesn't give up a ton of yards. He doesn't give up touchdowns, so I'm gonna give that man his props. But yes, a lot of this team, like Michael Robinson says, needs to be more physical. I think that's one thing that I think somebody asked: do people fear the Ravens coming in to play Baltimore? I don't think they fear us anymore because we don't have that physicality. We don't set that tone early, but we're starting to pick things up. We may not come close to being the number one defense in the league, but it may be just enough to get us over that hump.
Well stated. Well stated. It might be just enough to get us where we need to go. And if that's good enough, I'll take it. We're certainly, like you mentioned, Henda, we're not the dominant defense that the Ravens are historically known for. But if we don't need to be, if we just need to be able to say we have a couple of key playmakers who can make big plays in crucial moments, and if that is good enough to turn the tide for us in a game, we'll take it. Nightmare Kilo says, you think we're blowing out the Bills?
We already have.
We did before, but that was week 4. I mean, fast forward now, we're a different team. I'm going to say we're a different team for the better since week 4. And I don't keep that close of an eye on the Bills. Like, I don't watch them every week to see what they're doing. But I'm going to say I believe that they're probably a better team than they were week 4. So what I'm saying is, yeah, we beat them. But what about now? Are we currently, if we were to play them next Sunday instead of the Browns, would we blow out the Bills?
I mean, we're better defensively. So, I mean, all teams, that's like, I saw a Bills fan put that on Twitter today and was like, y'all beat us in like week 4. So what? Okay, the Kansas City Chiefs won a Super Bowl in week 22. They may not have won a Super Bowl in week 12, but they won it in week 22. So what? I could not care less about what you are now. They have more injuries now than they did back then.
Yeah.
Their defense is playing a lot worse now than they were back then. So they can miss me with it was week 4. They just gave up 44 points to the Rams. Rams, what do you think we're going to do to them? Again.
Yeah.
And we got Keith Mitchell back.
Yeah. Press start 410 says, I might consider doubling Kelsey on the third down. I mean, I don't blame you. You might want to do that. That sounds like a good plan to me. Chinwoo, good to see you. Thank you for being here. He says, hey there, great game. You saw Harbaugh in the Iron Parade Paradise. We ready. Okay.
I did not see it.
I didn't see it either. Wait.
Nobody watches Harbaugh.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. I think Trenton Simpson can cover.
Reg Bayless. Every stream, every video, you just got to say something
Travis,
off the wall. Are you Michael Jackson living off the wall?
Trenton Simpson can cover Kelsey? Huh. I'll just move on. Brent is here. Good evening. Thanks for being here. Can't wait for my merch. Merry Christmas to you all. Yes, let's go Flock. Thanks for being here. Absolutely. Wait, is Geno Stone missing us? The way the Bengals are playing right now, he might. especially if they don't make it into the playoffs. Because we've already locked in our seat, locked in our playoff spot. They have to win out. Plus, like Hendo said yesterday, they need help from other teams in order to get in. So, Dre too tough? I think so. Yeah, so our secondary. I am pleasantly surprised by our Darius Washington. For what you said, Hendo, yes, might be smaller in stature, but he plays with so much heart and intensity. He gives it his all every single play. And he's fearless when he's out there. He's fun to watch. So since we've made some adjustments in our secondary, i.e. benching some, releasing others, it's been for the better. It really has. So sky's the limit for this team right now. I think I read somewhere, the only team that really worries me, this was a tweet, the only team that really worries me and in terms of shooting themselves in the foot would be the Ravens. They're the only team that really can stop us. And I said, point taken. Robert says, our Darius got a turnover on downs with another big time tackle on Mixon. Now, how is he out there tackling Joe Mixon? He's doing it. He really is. Philip, hi there. Good evening. How optimistic do y'all feel about us going on the road in the playoffs to Buffalo and actually demolishing the Bills? I think we just answered that one. That shows you how far behind I am. But yeah, I think we can do it. I think we can. We will need to continue to play like we have played the last couple of weeks. And excuse me, someone said, ever since the Eagles loss and Lamar Jackson's mother had some choice words for him, we've seen a difference. Then a little funny meme came out and said, Justin Tucker has been playing well since then as well, has been playing well since that time too. Lamar Jackson's mother probably had a little talk with him as well. So whatever the formula is, right? Whatever the recipe is, we're going to have to continue to do that. And if we go into Buffalo in the middle of January and have to play them, I think we can still win, but we'll have to do what we've been doing, limiting the penalties, remaining true to our identity, do not deviate from the run. And I think we got it. Hello, Imani. Oh, wait, got that.
Imani.
Yes, he did. That's another one, Hendo. What about Tre'Davious White? Do you think he's been a good addition, a good pickup?
He's been all right. He's nothing special.
Why do you say that?
He's nothing special. He's just like he's like the rest of them. He makes some plays. He misses some tackles. He's out of place in coverage. Plays well. I mean, he does the same thing that Brandon Stevens does.
Black Ice says the Bills don't scare me. I'm not going to say they scare me, but I certainly would put them on the list of we need to ensure that the Ravens come out well coached, prepared, ready to play. I mean, we can say that about every team, right? So it's any given Sunday here in this league. But the Bills are a very good the Bills are a good team. They are. Their record shows that they're a very good team. So I'm not going to say they scare me, but certainly the day that we cross paths with them, it will not be, I don't think it'll be a cakewalk. I don't think we're going to blow them out, but I think we're winning it. Wow, RTV, he says, I think we're blowing out every team in the playoffs. Okay. All right. Including the Chiefs. That's a team we've not been able to blow out before. We won against them, I think, 3 years back, maybe 4 years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, when we had Sammy Watkins with us. We didn't blow them out. It was a very slim margin, but we were able to win. So there's that. Let me see. Yes, that's right. Oh, there's the world class. Told y'all Nico would cook Brandon Stevens. I mean, Nico Collins is it. I mean, he's really good. We can't argue with that. That's right, Imani. Oh, way. Yes, yes. Big Reg says the key to fully unlocking this defense is to play Trenton Simpson in the old Kyle Hamilton role. That's what he did best when he was in college. Okay. Thank you. Good to know. Something I'll have to definitely look into. Didn't give a shout out earlier to 86 Ghost. Thank you. One of our awesome channel members. Thank you for being here. He said Buffalo ain't ready. I hope not. And I hope that can be the same about all of our opponents that we face on our road to winning the Super Bowl this year. Speaking of Brodney, hi there, Brodney. How are you? Good evening. We were talking about you at the start of the show. Hope you're doing well. We do have another super chat. I missed that. Oh, goodness. Thank you, B Squared, the $2 super chat coming in. He said, Baker Mayfield said Lamar's mom is scary. I believe it. I believe it. I don't doubt it. So listen, if she got us right, she got us right. Killer Cam said they are really good matchup for us. Are you talking about the Bills, Killer Cam? I'm late. I'm behind in my comments. So I'm not sure if you're talking about the Bills, but I would believe so. And Brent has a question. In a world where you could decide the rules, would you prefer Barkley or Henry for the playoff run? Oh, that's a really good one. Hendo. What
Barkley.
And why? Why would you take Barkley?
He's more of a threat out the backfield. That way you don't have to disguise anything. It's not like when Justice Hill comes in, it's like, oh, it's going to be a pass. You can leave Barkley in there all three downs. He can be as much of a threat out the backfield as he is running the ball. Plus, he's younger, so we would be able to keep him for more years.
Yeah, but if we're talking about a playoff run right now, as opposed to keeping someone down the line in the future, would you still go with Saquon?
Same thing, just catching out the backfield.
I don't know. That's a tough one. But I am leaning toward Derrick Henry. I'm leaning toward him. Just because we've seen what he can do with Lamar Jackson. And while I'm sure I would believe if we had Saquon that there would still be good chemistry between the two and that there would be, the two would get along well and they would play well together, complementary together. I don't know that for certain. So I'm going to give the edge to Derrick Henry just because I have film, I have evidence to show what he can do on our team. So that would be me. Oh, we have a couple of others joining us, but before I say hello, I want to give another shout out to Press Start 410 for the $2 super chat. One more super chat for the holidays. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And if you are just now tuning in, do us a favor, hit the like button if you are enjoying this content. And if you are new, welcome. Please subscribe, join the family, because you don't want to miss these 31 days of, can't really say 31 days because we're winding on down, but you still don't want to miss the content that we release on our channels. Also, if you'd like to donate, you can do that by hitting that super chat button down below. Leave a super chat, super sticker. We appreciate it. Or if you want to click on the pinned link in Hendo's chat, you can do that. It'll take you right to his donation page. Anything that you give us, we appreciate the support. It just helps us create better content for you. Marlon Humphrey is the Defensive Player of the Year. What say you, Hendo?
For the Ravens, yes. Most definitely. It's not even a question.
Hamilton, Defensive Player of the Year. Go, man. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Hendo?
Yeah, he's Hamilton's Defensive Player for the week.
For the week. Absolutely. Yeah. But Go, man, were you saying Defensive Player of the Year for the entire league, or were you saying for the Ravens? That's what I wanted to clarify. Shannon, thank you for being here. It was a great game. Congrats, Ravens. I don't even watch football anymore. Netflix did it. Good job, guys. Thank you for being here, Shannon. And thank you so much for the warm wishes. Hope you get back into football. Hopefully, with the Ravens going on this winning spree and this winning streak that we're about to do and take it all the way and win the Super Bowl. Hopefully, that will be enough to get you to
Just come
back
jump on that
into,
thing.
yeah, get you to come back and watch football again. Chin Wu says, I'll take Henry. Yeah, me too. Oh, there's the big debate. Last thing we're going to end on. We didn't really go into special teams, but listen, Justin Tucker, shout out to you. Keep doing your thing. This is a good wrap up for us. Lamar Jackson, MVP, after yesterday, and leave the comment in the chat. And if you are watching on replay, thank you. Comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on this one. Did Lamar Jackson do enough for you yesterday to solidify him as the MVP, or is there still a question mark? Hendo?
He didn't do nothing. He's always been an MVP. And yesterday's just par for the course. He's been doing this all season long. He's had better statistics than the so-called front runner. Yeah.
We have yet another super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you. This one is coming from Superstar Dre 74. Just tipped $3.33. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the support. If you have a comment that you would like to let us, to read, absolutely, Superstar Dre, you know what to do. Just leave a comment and we'll get right to it. But as you were saying, what were you saying, Hendo?
I'm just saying this game did nothing for me. This is, like I said, par for the course. Lamar has been doing amazing things all season long. And I know that a lot of people want to attribute it to Derrick Henry being on the team, but Lamar has done this without Derrick Henry on the team. There's been games that Derrick Henry has had 60 yards rushing, but Lamar continues to go out there and show how dominant he is.
For sure. They just keep moving the goalposts. Let me get this other super chat, but shout out to you, Mr. Galloway. Thank you for being here. We have yet another super chat, this time $2 coming in from Tank Bromansky. Thank you. Lamar has been the MVP all season. Ain't nothing changed. That's right. Nothing. And, the thing I'm saying is they move the goalposts so much for him, and it's super frustrating. If it's not one thing, it's the next. Well, he did this, but it's only because of that. Now the new narrative is, well, Lamar Jackson really didn't do a whole lot yesterday. I mean, that was all Derrick Henry. So you mean to tell me the 2 times that he's won the league MVP without Derrick Henry on his team, it was because of who? It's because of Lamar. So I don't like the narrative, right? That, well, Lamar Jackson is good. I'm not going to take that away from him, but he's not better than Josh Allen, because look what Josh Allen doesn't have. He doesn't have a Derrick Henry. He doesn't have a this. He doesn't have a that. So to me, Hendo, I agree with you. Yesterday really didn't solidify for me. I just knew all along he was the MVP. Now, whether he gets that award or he doesn't, that remains to be seen. But in my mind, he is the MVP. And not just the league MVP, which he's absolutely going to claim that. He's going to be the Super Bowl MVP when he wins it all for us this year. Another superstar Dre 74 tipped yet again with $3.33. Thank you. Thank you. If you have any final questions for us before we go, let us know. Leave a question. You got to type fast, though, in the chat, and we'll be sure to answer it before we wrap up today's stream. Chaos 3310 wants to tell us that Derrick Henry throwing touchdowns now. Exactly. They're giving all of the credit, the accolades to Derrick Henry. Is Derrick Henry out there extending plays? Is Derrick Henry out there able to be a dual threat with his arm and beat you with his legs too? They don't want to consider all of that. So it's just one of those things that we know is going to happen with Lamar Jackson. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, Absolutely. He is the MVP. Yep. Well, family, I don't see any other questions coming in. So with that, I'm gonna hold. I'm just gonna give him another second. Ah, oh wait,
Nightmare
Nightmare
Kilo.
Kilo, Nightmare Kilo. How insufferable will we be if we win the Super Bowl? If Lamar Jackson wills us to a Super Bowl win, Hendo already said he's going to be so annoying. Those are his words, not mine. That's what he said. How will you be, Hendo?
Nightmare Kilo. You have no idea the burning desire that I have to be super petty. Like I puts in double overtime to be petty. I will not sleep to be petty. So if we win the Super Bowl, I might get some threats. And I'm here for it.
I'm not.
I'm here for it.
I know he is. He absolutely is. Chaos wants to know, do you guys know Lamar needs about 100 and something yards for 4,000? Yes, we saw that. I saw that yesterday. I thought it
45
was
yards.
40 something. Yeah, I thought it was under
45
100. Yeah, he's going to get that with ease. I think it's 40 something. What is it, Hendo?
45 yards.
45 yards and he'll have 4,000 for the season. Question coming in from Adrian from Press Start 410. When we win the Super Bowl, y'all celebrating down Fells Point with LBHT?
You messy press start. And I'm here for it. I love it. You damn right. I'm gonna be there on Fells Point.
All
With
right.
my
So
my Fells Point Mafia t-shirt on.
mm, Ton just said you're going to be in good company, Hendo. She's like, she's going to be too much as well. Me too. I am. I'm going into every space that I can find on these social media streets. And what were you saying? What is that now? Huh? Lamar Jackson does what in the playoffs and in the postseason? He can't do what? Yeah, for sure. Man, Kamal says if we win the Super Bowl this year, I'm going ham and I'm going to act a fool. I can't be mad at you for that. I won't even be mad. Another super chat. Thank you, Superstar Dre. $5. He says it's shaping up to be Baltimore, Kansas City, part 3 in the AFC Championship. No lie.
No, it's not. Well, no,
Okay,
it's
in the
not.
AFC Championship, who is it going to be? Leave a comment down
So
below real quick. AFC Championship, who you got?
no, because the way that it's shaping up, let me see. We would be 3, so we would play 6. If we go on and everything happens, we would end up because one and 2 would play in the AFC Championship if they went out. So we would play KC in the divisional round. So yeah, we would beat KC first. Then we would have to go to Buffalo. One.
No. For
No,
some
no,
reason, I'm
no,
still
no,
for
I'm
some
wrong.
reason
I'm
I
wrong.
think it's
No,
going
you're
to be
right. You're right.
KC.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. 2-3. It's 1-4-2-3. Never mind. You're right. Yes, we see. Yes, it's KC in the AFC Championship. Let's go.
Absolutely. Yeah. AFC Championship is going to be Ravens, Chiefs, and
Yeah.
Ravens are winning. Now, last question. Who do you have for the NFC going to the Super Bowl this year? I saw the Vikings earlier. Someone said they would see a purple Super Bowl, Vikings, Ravens. Do you think it's going to be the Lions or the Vikings? Or the Eagles? Or the Eagles could, do something funny and make that happen.
If the Eagles get healthy, I see it being the Eagles. I think that Detroit's banged up, and nobody trusts Damn Sarnold. So
Okay. So you think it's going to be who, Hendo? I'm sorry.
Philly,
Hmm.
if they get healthy,
And if they don't, who? Ooh.
Philly.
So no matter what, so whether they're healthy or not, it's still Philly for you.
Yeah, I mean Detroit. They have too many people on IR. If they get, but no, I take that back. If
What about
Philly got to get
Vikings?
healthy, it's gonna be Detroit because a lot of their people are coming back and they could be ready for the playoffs. So if Philly's not healthy, it's going to be Detroit. Minnesota, Sam Darnold. I love the fact that he's resurrected his career. All former Carolina Panthers quarterbacks are having career years now, but he just isn't clutch. So yeah,
I
Yeah,
don't see it for the Eagles. I don't. I don't. But yeah, Killer Cam, dark horse would be the Packers. I can see that. I can see that.
true.
But I think it's either going to be the Lions or the Vikings. Those are my two. Lions or the Vikings. Dark horse would be the Packers. But family, we are going to get out of here. We are going to say goodnight, and we will see you back very soon. And by very soon, I mean tomorrow. Not necessarily a live stream, but we will have some form of content on our respective channels tomorrow. So make sure your post notifications are turned on so that you don't miss anything. Thank you for being
Command.
here. Uh-oh. Wait. This is going the wrong way. This is going the wrong way. The Commanders? Lead Commander, there you go. You heard it. Somebody. Osman, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Said doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter who. It's just going to be the Ravens. I like it. Well, family, thank you all so much for joining. You all take care and stay safe. And always remember, go Ravens. God bless.